Hey, I'm Kiara.
And I'm Tanesha, and you're now entering the sister chat. Welcome to our podcast, the
Yes.
main event mamas.
Whoop, whoop.
Welcome.
It was great recording our last episode last week, and we're back for episode 2. Going to get into quite a few things, like what went on this week. And so we're going to start with our first section, our segment called Parenthood Pinfall. So the thing that, almost took you out this week. So, our topic this week, we're going to talk about balancing parenting and full time work. So, I know that's been a challenge for me. I've been a full time worker pretty much my kid's entire life with no breaks and multiple, as I said, multi hyphenate in the last episode, but multiple jobs all at the same time while parenting. But seeing as they are now 15 and 17, I feel like we all made it through the worst of it. But I know you have some happy news this week and some challenges to talk about. So why don't you kick it off, Nisha?
Well, I started a new job this week, and yeah, no, that was a challenge because I also started school too. So I started school and a new job this week. And trying to balance that because what you guys don't know is I've been out of work for about 4 months due to companies, letting people go because of reconstruction, as they called it.
Restructuring.
Thank you.
Corporate
Hey,
restructuring.
restructuring. So I have been out of work and got out of my routine of constantly, waking up. Yes, I wake up, I make sure the kids have their food and make sure they have their lunch, they have their breakfast and doing all those things. And I also take care of my brother. So I've been doing that, but getting in the routine of like, oh no, I can't stay in bed for an extra 15, 20 minutes. I actually need to get up and do what I need to do normally that I could take my time doing and try to speed this process up. So that has been a very challenged this week because yeah, I didn't do well. I didn't do
You're
well.
saying you
I'm
failed?
I'm not gonna say I failed because that is a big word. I'm not gonna say I failed. I'm just gonna say it was a very strategic challenge.
Okay. Okay.
And one day when I had to cram schoolwork in and get my homework turned in by 3 o'clock in the morning, I was up at 3 in the morning, and then I had to go to work. And I slept for like 2 hours, 3 hours. And I'm not gonna say that was my finest hour and not to tell all my business, but I definitely did broke down crying at work because I was tired.
I'm
It was very
sorry.
exhausting. And it kind of brought me back to when the kids were babies. just like I just need somebody to give me time to sleep. That's all I want. I said, I just want a nap. I just need a nap. Can I get a nap? And I'll come back. I need a nap. And they was like, well, you can go home. Nope, I'm not gonna go home. I'll just drink some tea. And I did. And I caffeinated myself with my tea. And that was the weirdest experience ever, to be extremely tired and being extremely high off the caffeine.
I mean, that's an option. I get it. I mean, I definitely think it's hard for everybody, right? Like I also got laid off last year, but I was fortunate enough to continue working, or I'm sorry, getting paid through January. My last day I think was in November-ish. Which you're right, I got used to doing nothing. And by nothing I mean, focus on my freelance business and working out, doing everything except actual working. Had a whole new schedule where I slept in. But then I got a job in January with this awesome company. And yeah, it was real. It was a shift to suddenly go back into what do you do? I have to get up, I have to shower, I have to brush my teeth, I have to get dressed, I have to move and do things and find time to work. And that has been a journey to say the least. So I understand the struggle for sure because it's not easy. It's not light work. It's definitely, you do all your work all day and then I cook almost every day. So I come home, by come home I mean just walk from my home office
Office.
to into the kitchen and then I go and cook dinner and I can whip it out. Like, we had some chicken, we have whip it up, not whip it out. Apologies.
I was like,
We had some chicken and rice, and we had spaghetti. I brought back like spaghetti and meatballs because it was hard to adjust to getting everybody fed at the right time and having one kid who can't eat what you're eating. So you're cooking multiple meals, which I think you got a little experience with, right?
I know. I know. Like you literally watched me this morning. I sat here with my children. Each child eats different. So my oldest, remember if like I told you guys last episode, he is highly autistic. Um,
High
not highly
functioning.
autistic. Thank you. High functioning autistic child. And his palate is very simple. He does not want to try anything different. And if that changes, then it becomes no, I don't want this. So he is strictly on pizza, peanut butter sandwiches, yogurt, chicken nuggets, chicken rings, uh, fries. Yeah.
Is there
So he
any
definitely
fruit?
gets up. No, no, I've
Any
tried.
vegetables?
No, 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 I tried. I've tried. And this is the killer. This is the thing. He also has a trauma response. So not to start talking about our kids and breaking into different segment, but he has a trauma response. So he used to eat a lot of different things when he was a kid. He's still a kid, but whatever. When he was a kid, and then
Older
to
kid.
a younger kid, yes. So younger, when he was younger, when he was like 1 and 2, he did eat things. He ate eggs. He ate fruit. He likes applesauce. He likes the textures wasn't an issue for him. He liked it. But then something happened for him that switched, and we'll talk about that later. But he slowly stopped eating things that he would normally eat. And
Okay.
then it just became, I just want pizza. Then I just want this. And you could try to get him into doing other things, but it wasn't. So I felt the biggest one I got was when he actually liked yogurt. And now, granted, it has to be one specific type of yogurt, but I was good when I could get different flavors because that particular yogurt, which is Go-Gurt, which is the best quick thing ever in life. And I used to put it in the freezer so he could have a popsicle, and it was great. Can't do that
Go-gurt.
now. He
Okay.
does not like that version of it no more.
Okay. That's fair.
But so that's the oldest child. That's my oldest. That's my teenager. Then I come down to my 10-year-old.
Ooh.
He is a little bit more, he's picky, but he tries things.
Okay. So it's more flexible.
He's a little bit more flexible, but he's the one who loves eggs. When I say love eggs, I can make him eggs
Wait.
breakfast, lunch, dinner, and he would be happy. He loves my French fries because I make homemade French fries. You know, everyone loves my French fries. He loves French
True.
fries. He loves
True.
hot dogs. I finally got him to actually eat the chicken and not just the skin because he used to just eat the skin. But he also smells his food. So he has to smell the food
Really?
first to make sure that it's the right recipe, the right spices that he likes. Because if it's not, he will not touch it.
That's interesting.
So he does not eat my homemade fried chicken. He used to when there was a particular oven baked type flour. He liked that. But then they stopped making that flour. So now I can't even get him to touch my chicken because he'll smell it and be like, this is not it, and walk away.
Really?
Yes. But he loves fruit. When I say he loves fruit as in melon. So he likes cantaloupe, he likes melon, he likes watermelon, and he loves apples.
I'm the opposite. I do not like any of them. Oh, well, that's not true. I like apples. I can't eat them, but I like apples. But
Yeah.
everything else, you just know.
No. And he loves
No.
cereal. He loves Cheerios, and he likes these which I call the ghetto Lucky Charms. He likes the marshmallow medals. It's a red bag. That's all I know.
For
He loves
Walmart?
those. No, it used to, yes. So actually, you can find it at Walmart, depending. But I get it on Amazon now, and I get it on prescription or a
Oh, okay.
subscription, because it's just easier for me because he goes through it like water. Now bring it to my last two children. They are not picky.
They're not picky.
No. Yaslin. Oh, I was supposed to say nobody's name. Anyway, my daughter. Anyway, whatever. Yaslin should be happy. She is my expensive eating child.
Ooh.
So she will be the most expensive date anyone ever has when she starts dating when she's 21. But she loves lobster. She likes shrimp. She
Ooh.
likes steak. She likes curry goat. She likes curry chicken. She likes fish. She likes salmon. I said, oh, girl, I love it.
I love
Yes,
her.
go
She can come
ahead, give
visit
me.
more because we eat all the
But,
things.
yes, but I've only got her to eat broccoli.
No.
She kind of may eat the peas, maybe. But broccoli, I got her to eat it because I mixed it up with some rice and
Hmm.
hit it with her chicken and rice because she likes chicken and rice and broccoli. So I could do that, whip it up for
Okay.
her. Um, and she likes only green apples. She does not like any
Yeah.
other fruit.
My daughter
Don't try
likes
to,
green apples too and
yeah,
doesn't
don't
like
try to get.
very
But I don't
specific about her
understand because green
apples.
apples are sour. I don't get it, but whatever.
They make fantastic. I will tell you, if you cook them, they make
Huh?
fantastic. I used to cook them with some sugar or
Or like
syrup.
the cinnamon type.
Uh-huh. And then I would add that
Mm.
to like the plain yogurt. It was on
Mm.
my original Weight Watchers kick. And it was so good
I
with
mean,
some
it sounds
butter.
good. I wouldn't
And it
try it, but
smelled
it
the
sounds good.
kitchen. The thing is, you haven't tried mine, but when I tell you, you go into the kitchen and it smells like cinnamon apple goodness, and you're
Oh,
just
that's smell.
like,
Okay, that's gonna be okay. So
you're
I
gonna
can
be a
see
little
me.
bit like,
Let
well,
me
this
try
ain't
it a little
bad,
bit.
And it's not like the apples and cinnamon you get from regular, like that cheap instant oatmeal. Like it's
Mm,
really, it like is very like
does it smell like the
warm.
candle?
So yes, actually, it does. I mean, the candle's a little bit more artificial because they got to add that extra sweetness.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
I think it does. I mean, it smells the whole kitchen up really nicely. I like to make it in the fall. Makes my
Okay.
kitchen, the dog and the cat
Mm.
appreciate the
Well,
ambiance.
all the
Yes.
smell good. Like, oh, Thanksgiving's coming. I got you. Okay, I heard you. I heard you. Now let me get to Chunka.
Oh boy.
Okay, I told my other child. That's all right. The other two, they too old. Anyway, Chunka. He is my. How old is he? He is 7. He's my
Okay.
7-year-old,
He's your 7-year-old.
and he likes food. He's my vegetables and fruit person. He
Okay.
will he likes broccoli, green beans. He tried cauliflower. He'll eat carrots. He if he sees, because I like to eat certain things, so I like to, so like some of their pickiness comes from me. But
Yep.
I I
True.
love me a bell pepper. Give me a red or yellow bell pepper or even an orange one. He's tried it. He doesn't particularly like the I guess it's the texture maybe, or because of how bland it is, or he doesn't understand that you got to get it while it's sweet. Anyway, but he's more of my, like, he likes apples, he likes grapes, he likes strawberries, he likes berries, he's my more all around child
Hmm.
that likes food and vegetables and gets upset if I don't have none in the house. He'd be like, Mom, we gotta go buy some broccoli. Because broccoli is his favorite. He
Oh
loves,
yeah, I knew there
loves
one of those
broccoli.
kids was mine. At least one or two.
You know,
They picked up the rest of the
yes.
genes. Okay.
I mean, the only thing is he doesn't like shellfish, so he doesn't like shrimp. He
Okay.
doesn't like
I need to
lobster.
mix your children. Like we need to
But
get a
give
little
him,
bit of the
I
girl
know,
child and the last boy child, just a little bit.
yeah. But he's also willing to try food.
Okay.
He was like, okay, I'll try it. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I think I've learned that it's okay if they don't, like, I've always told them it's okay for them not to eat it, but I guess because of me trying foods for the first time, I'm understanding that it's really okay to try it, and if you don't like it, that's okay. The end of the world is not going to happen.
No.
Nothing's going to happen. So I've even gotten catered that way. Hey, try this real quick. If you don't like it, that's fine. But my oldest cannot do it. No. So yeah.
Mhm.
To pretty much go to the thing, I cook a various of different
Meals
foods
all at the same time.
at one time.
You're a master, and I kudos to you for that. I was watching it
Hence why it
earlier.
was so difficult for me to do it this week.
Yes, it was impressive to watch you cook all of the things at the same time. My house is much more simple. I don't do that. But now they're old enough they can cook well, one of them will cook for themselves, the other one will cook for the other one because that one doesn't
Hey,
particularly
listen,
want to cook.
sometimes that's better.
So,
I'm just saying.
but my girl child, she likes to cook. It's her thing lately. So there are times when I do allow her into my kitchen to embrace her culinary gift, if you will. So, yeah. So she does do her own kind of cooking, and so that kind of helps. But for me, like, just kind of wrap up this segment, it's hard, right? Like, I think it's hard to think about having to give yourself to work all the time
Mhm.
and then having to give yourself to your kids. It definitely takes a balance, one that I think we're both still trying to figure out with all the various things on our plate. And there's no like right or wrong answer to it. I think as I've grown older and seen, the parenting decisions I've made, my friends have made, it makes me kind of reflect on the fact that we're all different and that we do the best we can. And someone should say, good job, because it is a hard mix. So if you're out there and you're like, this is hard, I can't do this.
We understand.
We get it.
Come in. We understand. Definitely leave a comment. We understand what's going on.
We get it. We get it. And this is a good time to remind you that if you are listening to this on Spotify, go ahead and hit that button to subscribe, like. Same thing if you're listening to this on YouTube. We definitely love you to hit that subscribe button, like, share it with your friends. And let's move on to segment number 2. Let's talk adulting. All right. So that's our segment name. And we're going to talk, today's topic is life be lifing, right? This week has been hard in the adulting world. I think that we've seen that. If you're paying attention to the news, you're a little stressed. Your 401k might have got a little workout. And I'm refusing to look at mine. And then when you got the area of taxes, which I hate to do and procrastinate every single year to the very last minute because I don't want to do it. And
got 3 more
then
days, guys. 3 more days.
that's right. If you haven't done it, go ahead and get that in. Hope by the time we release this episode, it'll be less days. So please make sure
It
you do
will.
that.
It'll be like 2 to 1 to 0.
Yeah. And don't be late. You know what I mean? The government has enough on their plate to let you be late on that. And then just kind of overall, like life is life around everyone right now. I've seen a lot of struggles, a lot of emotion. I feel like we must be in retrograde or something again because the world is turning tipsy-turvy, relationships and all of that. So what are you thinking this week when you're talking about life be life, and what is it that you wanna sound off on, Tanesha?
I mean, I got a lot of things I can sound off on. But we can talk about life be life with co-parents. I mean, I'm just saying that's if anyone okay, let me not be so negative. But I just need to understand co-parenting situations. If anyone has a better co-parenting situation, please teach me. Because clearly, I'm not gonna say I'm failing. It's just not working. It's not working. It's not working. Okay. Prime example, not to get y'all in my business and everything, but my kids are with their father now. But that was a challenge because he almost tried to back out of it. And then once he arrived with people, I wanted to cancel. I was like, why did you just do that? But then I realized it's going to be more harmful to my children if I decide to cancel because they haven't seen this person in a while. And when I say a while, what we're in April, right?
Yes, it's April.
So 2 months.
Oh wow,
Okay?
that is a while.
2 months. Okay. Now don't get me wrong. Calling and video chatting is a great thing now. I wish we would have had it when our dad was here and live. Because that could have made a difference, I guess. I don't know. But I just need, the consistency. Consistency. Because they're on break this week. I don't know if anybody else is on spring break, but my kids are on spring break.
Ours was
and I need a
2
break.
weeks ago. Yeah, she's I need a break.
I need a break. I mean, I get it. I mean, it was my choice to have all these children, and I love them to life. But I still need a break.
That's
just
fair.
saying. Especially after this week, I just want to be able to go to work and not have to worry about anybody else but myself. Well, I mean, technically, I still got to worry about my brother because I take care of my brother. But I just don't want the extra. And to think that I want more kids, that's the crazy part about it.
That's the crazy part right there.
That's the crazy part about it. But I mean, I think for right now, I think I also am going to just relax. So that's also another part I think about lifing is me coming to the realization, more like this morning, the realization that right now I don't need that. I can always revisit it in probably 6 months to a year. But right now, I think it's better for me not to.
To have another kid, you mean? Is that what?
Yeah, have another
Okay.
kid. Not try to have another kid right now. Because there's another thing. I'm gonna put my business out here on blast. Having miscarriages are not easy. So that also is, that's life and life. And like, to have 3 miscarriages in 3 years, uh, it's a lot. It's a toll on your body. It's a toll on your mental. It's a toll on all the above. And sometimes, you as an adult, you try to keep things to yourself, and you try to balance what to tell people, what not to tell people, how much time you want people in your business, what you don't want people in your business. And, at the end of the day, I feel like as an adult, we still should have a sense of a community. I think it's not just for children. I think it's for us too. And we should be able to be in a space where we can communicate and not feel like you're judging me off of what I'm saying to you. Because if I'm coming to you, I feel like you're a safe space and I need to be able to say what I need to say. And yes, if I ask you for your opinion, you should be able to give it to me. But if I don't ask you for your opinion, that doesn't mean that now I want you to give me your opinion. Just be there, be present. Sometimes I think as adults, in this life, we forget what it we don't forget. Let me take that back. We don't forget, because I think we highly remember what our childhood was like and how our teenage years were like and how our 20s were like and how our 30s were like. And as you start moving up, and you still remember those things, but I think that's what ends up happening. We end up losing that sense of the community that we may have had moving up and growing up, because when we were younger, all we wanted to do was be older. And now we here, and I want to cancel my subscription. I just want
Amen.
to cancel it. I just want to, because if you told me all the responsibilities that I would have when I was a kid, when I kept saying, "Oh, I can't wait till I'm this age. Oh my God, I can't wait. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna do all these things," and then no one tells you, or maybe they try to tell you, but it's how they tell you. You're like, I don't want to hear what you talk about. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. And now we're here, and I just want to cancel. Or how can I can't? Why did everything have to raise prices? Because everything seemed cheaper back then, and then now we're
It
in
was.
adults. We gotta shell out more than what we actually make. That's kind of crazy.
It is. It is. I think.
But what's your take? I'm sorry, because I could talk about life and on life and on, because this week has been a lot, and you already know because we talk off.
Yeah, we
You're my
talk
sister,
often.
so
Yeah, we're just letting
but
everybody else in on our conversation a little
we
bit this
are.
week.
I mean, when I tell you I broke down crying at work, that was a lot. I did not expect to do that. That was lifing, trying to balance my life in a short period of time. Because let me tell you guys, I literally went for this interview, did not want to be there, not once. I just did it, just because.
What we need to do.
And
We do. We need to pay
what we
bills.
that's the thing. Life be lifing, and adulting be adulting, and you got to do what you have to do, even if you don't want to. But I didn't expect to get hired that day. And this is what they told me. They said, well, your personality was, I could tell. And I'm going, I told you, I said, well, if I knew it was about personality, I would not have brought my best personality that day. I would have been like,
You should have left your A game at home.
I should have left my A game at home. I even showed up 15 minutes early. I was just doing a lot. And this whole week, I was late. Because it was like, y'all just threw me in the fire, didn't ask me, didn't tell me. You were just like, okay, so you're going to start? Now you're starting. And then I got told I was going to start on Thursday, and somehow I started on Tuesday. I didn't,
Yeah.
So
I think that takes
I
it
had
back to the consistency theme, right? Like, I think we should be more consistent as people. The thing I take away from life, is life in this week is just, I think we talked a little bit about it last week, just some self-care space. I think that theme comes up again, and the need to remember that you're doing the best you can and to give yourself the grace to make mistakes and learn. I have a 17-year-old who is just doing everything he can to avoid any adulting at all. And he's smart. Like, I give him so much credit for knowing at 17 that he's good. He's good as it is. He wants to remain that Toys R Us kid for as long as possible. His
I mean,
mom's
I
house
don't
is
doubt him.
cool. Like,
Hey, they know, they ain't trying to get into debt like how we were, and how,
right.
nope, they are smarter.
I mean, he
They,
definitely, that kid is, he know, understands. Like, I think he's watched both me and my husband, his father, just kind of struggle with the various things. Sometimes you got to pay this bill or not that bill, or you could pay all these bills, but now you're home all day, every day, because you paid for it at this point. And while we are grateful for our residence and where we live,
mm,
I also want to jump a plane and go to Tahiti. I mean, I have things that I would
ooh,
rather be
I like
doing,
that. Yes, or
besides
some,
adulting and being responsible. But I've really appreciated his insight on it because as we're trying to kind of push him out the nest a bit, like, you need to figure out how you're going to get a job. And this boy goes, no, actually, I need to remain focused on my schoolwork and keep my grades up and keep my AP classes going. And that just doesn't fit into my equation. And then I like to, rebuttal because we have great debates between this kid and I. And I was like, at your age, I did the same things and also worked every weekend. But there's something different about this generation. I will say, I also couldn't wait to get out of my parents' house. Like, dad was great and all, but I couldn't wait to get out of my parents' house. I intentionally went to a college that was as far away from my mother as possible. Even though
Yeah, you were in
it
no
was
man's land.
still right, it was far from dad too, right? Even though we were in the same state, I could not wait.
I
I
think
jump,
like
hop,
5 hours.
skipped my way to that college. And then I got a nice reality check of what it's like to be in the middle of nowhere and not knowing how to drive and not, working 3 jobs because that's how high this tuition was. And my student jobs were 3 different jobs to help pay for that all at the same time while I was studying and things. But it helps me revisit that with him. And then I start to think, is this a good thing that he doesn't want an adult in the sense of like, I did such a good job as a parent that he knows like he's safe and he doesn't want to run away? Or is he just more practical where he's like, I'm good. Like here, he doesn't need much. He's not the kid who wants the new Jordans or like I have to surprise him with big gifts. Like I have to surprise him with a PS5. Actually, he did ask for that, but I had to surprise him. But that was the only thing. If I say he asked for a PS5, that was almost the only thing on his list for Christmas. Like this is the kid I have to surprise with computers or tablets or other things because he's like, whatever you want, mom, I'm good. I have everything I need, which is beautiful to have that kind of
That means you did a
spirit.
good job. Because
Except that
clearly
now
I'm.
he doesn't want to leave. So what do I do?
Oh,
That's my question for the parents out there. Did I do something wrong? Did I make him too safe? How do we
I don't think you
encourage
did. I think
him?
that's good.
How do we encourage him to start to venture outside the nest a bit? Because that's my challenge of how I transition him to thinking more adulthood. Because even like he's very interested in college. He already knows what he wants to do. Feel free to drop us an email. It's going to be at the bottom of the videos and in the description. If you have an answer to this question, we want to hear it. We might put it on our next episode and revisit it. But how do you deal with a kid who is a little reluctant to leave the nest and still likes his parents, which is, an accomplishment at that? But yeah, it's a struggle right now because I don't know what to do. I'm kind of a little
I
bit
think
in
you did
the
good though.
like I'm giving myself a pat on the back that he still likes us, but on the other hand, I'm like, um, you need to
I
leave
need you to
one
go because so
eventually.
I can be an empty nester. You need to go. I
Yes,
had you
I had
early in
plans.
life so you can go.
Yes, I had plans on what I was going to do in my house with no one here with my husband. I had plans. But we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on
Mm.
to our WrestleMania predictions. I'm so
Oh, it's that
psyched.
time? Oh my.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm so psyched about WrestleMania this year. This is normally our segment where we recap wrestling this week, but WrestleMania is next week. So, I mean, all that scrapped. I'll give you a little details here and there in case you missed it. But I WrestleMania is one of my favorite events of the year. Has always been since I've been born, I think, at this point.
Yeah, since we were born. Since we were born.
I'm like, I think I even, those ones where we were probably 1, 2, or 3, we still went back and saw it. I remember my my aunt going to Blockbuster with those videotapes and us watching old WrestleManias.
Oh,
So, yeah, yeah. And my brother was a huge Hulkamania fan. Our brother was a huge Hulkamanian maniac, which is a little problematic at this time. As
at
I
this
like to
time in life,
remind him.
it's a little problematic. But he also he also used to he loved himself some Bret Hart.
Yes, the excellence of execution.
Mm.
Yes, yes.
I
And
can tell a
he
story
got
about that, but we'll do
the
that next time.
yes, we will tell you a bigger story about that next time. But I will say he even got Bret Hart's glasses
That's
during
what
an
I was about to
event.
say. I remember him getting the glasses. He
Hmm.
was so excited. Oh,
Yes, I was right next to him, and Bret Hart picked him. But that's cool because I was way more of a Shawn Michaels fan anyway. But
there you go. Blush it again.
but anyway, we're gonna move on again, and we're gonna talk about night
Okay.
one and our predictions for night one.
All
So
right.
we're gonna start with Gunther versus Jay, which is gonna be the first match of the night. You're yeeting. That's what we doing.
Yep.
You think it's gonna be a yeet time? Okay.
Yeet.
Listen. This week's promo was exceptional from Jay. He came he
Absolutely.
came down to the ring. He was real serious. It was phenomenal to see him in this locked in zone. And I, for one, am ready. That's right, to yeet on night one. I
How did
want
Rhea do
us
it?
to do that on the first match. I'm psyched to see where this is gonna go. So I'm excited. Anything you think? I mean, you really think, Jay, there's nothing in you that's telling you Gunther, nothing?
mean, no, what I think is the fight is going to be epic. I feel like Jay being with Gunter is going to push him to a different limit or athletic limit where we're going to see Jay have to pull other things out versus the things that we know him for. I feel like from that promo, this is it it definitely, from what I told last week, was like, either it's going to push him to do greatness or it's not, or he's going to get so clouded. That promo shut both of those things down. It was just like, no, he is coming after him. And it's going to be, yes, I am coming for you because of what you did to my brother, but I'm
Yeah.
coming to you because of what you did to me too. Like me psychologically watching you, what you did to my brother, and you sitting here punking me out.
Yes. Yes.
You kept punking me out. Like, come on now. We saw him when he slipped and fell and he's like, ha ha ha. Like, you kept punking me out. And that's not who I am. I am made of vet, Jay Uso.
That he
That's who
is.
I am. That's who I am. And I'm gonna remind you who I am. And I'm not just a catchphrase. I'm going to show you and I'm gonna pull up and I'm gonna let you know what it's about, and it's gonna be the business. So I think that match, I mean, first off, I think it's a smart idea to make that match be the first match because that's gonna bring the energy for the rest of the night, because everybody, even the ones who say they don't like Jay or they think he shouldn't have been called up to the top and all these different things, Jay has been in this business for a long time.
Yes. Yes.
A long, long time. And at the end of the day, he got this opportunity because he deserved it. It don't matter if he is not the best athletic and whoever. The fact that you went from a tag team, one of the greatest tag teams of all time.
Yes. Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And now you had to. One, you became a singles because your brother was injured.
A single star.
Single star because your brother got injured. Then you sitting here going with Roman. That gave you an extra edge and an extra boost of confidence that you can do this without your brother. I'm not saying that y'all don't need each other, because y'all definitely do, because every sibling needs each other. But you proved that you can stand on your own, even after everything happened with the bloodline and you walked away from the bloodline and you took your little hiatus and you came back. You proved that you can do this on your own. So yes, you need that. You need that championship. And yes, I'm going to say Jay is going to win. If he doesn't win, I will be upset
Okay.
because he deserves it. Only because too, even when he was fighting with Roman, he's the only person who beat
He
Roman
was, at least at that point, right?
at that time. At that time, he was the only person who could beat him. So, like, come on. So yes, he deserves it, and I'm gonna be eating,
You gonna be eating
standing
this whole
up,
time?
and I'm gonna be eating the whole time. Hey, like I'm there. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, I agree. I can't wait. Oh my goodness. The next one is, well, I also agree with you. I just want to point that out. I agree to everything you said. Cosign all the things because I am a huge Jay fan. All right, the next match is going to be Jade Cargill versus Naomi. So before we start, I have to say that promo on SmackDown last night, I don't know what I said this last week. I think Naomi needed to apparently push Jade onto that vehicle off a ledge, and she should have done it
Yes,
from the jump.
we definitely got that revelation
Yep.
because I was wrong. I was wrong.
We didn't know she got hit by a car. We weren't sure, but now it's clear what happened. And that promo, she was also had that same locked in. The acting was just phenomenal. I was so caught into her storytelling that I'm sidebar on her side. Even though I know she was wrong. I mean, Jade didn't really deserve that. However, Naomi has been that woman for a long time. Her matches with Charlotte before she left and went to TNA slash Impact, or what we're calling that now. They were good. And for whatever reason, she was not getting the same credibility as other people on the roster. So being able to see her ascend to where this is going, I have to go for Naomi. Like, that's who I want to win that match, period.
Well, I'm in agreement. I mean, because we already heard how I feel. I don't really like Jade, but
I do. The Storm is cool with me, okay?
I mean, but no, like that promo, like you can feel every emotion that is in there. And I feel like some of that emotion is definitely from why she left. Like you feel it. Like she wasn't able to really express it. They couldn't like really say too much. They couldn't. And I feel like this form of her is able to bring out that frustration. That frustration that she had when she had the tag team titles. The frustration of like, y'all don't see me. So now I have to make you see me. Because at the end of the day, I do believe she's right. How someone come in and all of a sudden now she's getting an opportunity. She wasn't ready. Now, do I think Jade is ready now? Maybe. I don't know. Do I think this match is going to be good? Yes. Do I think Naomi's going to win? Yes. But
But
I don't think it's going to be her winning by herself.
this is that secret someone coming in type.
I
Little
think
support.
so. A little support because they both. Well, see, this is the one thing I can't say with Jade, with her promo, wasn't as strong, but I definitely, she did make some good points, as in when you're a star, when you feel like you're fading and no one's seeing you, you got to kind of, hey, I'm here. And she was like, my star was too bright. Now, granted, when Jade came in, everybody was like, oh, Jade is here. To me, I was like, okay, cool, cool, cool. Because I also seen her like a couple of matches and I didn't like, to me, she was still sloppy. Like, I didn't feel like it was like she's so clean cut and she was
Well,
one that kept winning. But that was me. I felt like, oh, excuse me. I felt like she was at Impact. Was she at
she was
Impact?
at AEW.
Thank you. I was like, I'm trying to remember who was where. When she was at AEW, I felt like she was the Charlotte of there. Like she never lost the title. Like when she got the title, she had the title. And then she was just like, I'm this. Yeah. Like you see. Like,
Yeah.
yes, I'm the Storm. But that's my perspective. That's my perspective.
I mean, I don't
Do I
disagree though.
think
I'm not disagreeing with you. She did win a lot of matches with that TBS championship over there.
yeah, but I also felt like she also wasn't being put up against people who can really beat her,
That too.
if that makes sense. So I feel like this could be a really good between them two because once again, people don't look at Naomi as a powerhouse. And Naomi's a powerhouse. Because remember when they won it, they was like, oh, it's going to be her and Bianca because they're both tall and they powerhouses. But once again, y'all were forgetting that Naomi's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
She's a powerhouse all by herself. And I understand what she had to do. Now, granted, learning that she pushed her off, I was
Okay.
kind of like, oh, that's kind of okay. You were angry. You probably was talking to her and said, uh-huh. And you probably smiled and went, push you push you off and be like, oh, I don't know.
Not the sound effect.
Oh my God, and come down. Hey, what happened? Who did that to you? Do you remember? No? Okay, great.
It was a moment.
Do you remember the tweet that she trolled? Hey, I'm trying to come see you in the hospital and they won't let me come see you. Girl, what were you trying to do? Finish her off? It reminded me of a show that I watched. Like, I need to make sure you don't remember. You don't remember, right? You have amnesia? Yeah? Okay.
I don't think we want to know which show that is.
No, you don't want to know. It's okay. But yeah, that's my prediction. I believe Naomi is going to win, but they may be somebody that may be sitting at the ring who may interfere.
All right. So the next match is War Raiders versus The New Day for the World Tag Team titles. I think these are the Raw titles, if I'm not mistaken, and the War Raiders are the current champs. So what'd you think?
I'm gonna go with the War Raiders because New Day is still on my poop list.
It's on your poop list. Okay, okay. So let me tell you. I think I'm gonna differ with you because first of all, the New Day's new song is a bop. It is amazing, and
So
they need to start regaining some.
even if they get the titles, nobody's gonna like them because what he did to Big E, you
I
don't do
mean,
that to Big E.
it's not about liking them; it's about making them more relevant. I think.
And Kofi looks stupid with no mustache.
I mean, that's an option. I mean, that's a take.
Now look at him like, what is this? You trying to be bad? You ain't bad. Who are you? That's terrible. I don't know if that's worse or them making him pretend he was Jamaican. I don't know.
Okay, all right. Okay, why are you like this? I don't know. Okay, so we have two opposite views on this. Here's my take on the New Day. I think they need something to make them more relevant because that Big E moment was a moment, and then like we it just fell off.
It wasn't just a moment. It was a big moment.
But it just fell off. Like what happened next? Not much. Like a lot
Yeah,
of
because they was trying
backstage
to be bad.
segments.
I'm bad. Get out of here.
They
Y'all
need
can
to
get
be
locked up in the
better.
Uso penitentiary and never come out. I'll be happy.
Yes, I guess I could. I think you could. But honestly, I just think they need some juice. And so I'd love to see. I honestly think the Raw tag team division is not as hot as what we've seen
Oh,
on
okay, yeah,
SmackDown. So I
for
would
sure.
like to see there get some like heat on them. It's a struggle bus on Raw, and I don't know why yet, but
So
maybe
they
the
need
New
you to
Day
be the
will give
writer.
the tag team titles some more heat as they move into it. Because the thing is, the War Raiders, they're monsters, right? Like you
Uh-huh.
don't think really anybody's gonna beat them.
Uh-uh.
But I'd like to see the change. I'm just saying, I get it. You don't want that, but
I I
I'd
don't
like to see
think
it.
New Day is the ones to do it.
You don't think New Day's it? Okay.
No. Maybe if they were, still like, the booty hoes. Those.
Booty O's, girl. Okay. All right.
And, or if they didn't treat Big E how they treated Big E, then okay, I would probably be on their side because my son, well, granted, he hasn't seen them in the new version of themselves,
Right. I was gonna say,
but
does he know?
KJ loved the New Day. He was like, "Mommy, I need a New Day shirt. I need da da da," and I'm like, "Boy, you don't even watch wrestling like that." But okay, because Chunk is the one who watched wrestling with me. So,
Okay.
but yeah, so no, I think they're gonna win, and also because they are. I think the fact that they changed their names and they rebranded themselves versus the Vikings
Yeah, that was weird. I
is
mean, meaning like
so.
I didn't like the Viking Raiders. I do like the War Raiders name
Uh-huh.
better. I do
And I
like
feel
them
like when
getting
I
rid of
hear
that
their.
Valkyrie weird character,
Uh-huh.
especially with Lyra coming on, and we'll talk about her a little later. You're right. I'm okay with the War Raiders like rebrand, but I just
especially
think
their
they need a little
song, especially their song. When I heard their intro, it reminded me of no, not the name escaping me. What's the other one? What's the They had the they had the wait,
the
hold on.
spikes.
Yes, yes. But what's their names? I know it was Raider. It was
Oh my goodness, I see them so clearly. They were
with
my
the paint,
favorite.
with their paint, with the red and black paint, and they had the red and black
Oh my
uh
God, what were they
uh uh
called?
oh my, that's all
Oh,
right. We gonna get it. I'm gonna remember. But that's what it reminded me of. And I was like, oh, they out here. And I was like, girl, they not out here. They're old. They old, and I think one died. So I'm like, they're not here. But that's what it reminded me of. So that's why I think I'm also
the
going like,
Legion of Doom.
yes, yes, yes.
That's it.
Where did I get Raiders from?
They were also known as the Road Warriors. I think that's why you're because I
Yes,
think they were the same people, if I'm not mistaken.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
Oh, yes.
yes, yes. So I
What
think
a
that's
rush. Was
also.
that him? What a rush. Was that him?
I think so.
Somebody out there
Anyway,
tell us if that was right.
yes, but anyway, go ahead. Now we're gonna go. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next
Oh,
ones
I
because
love
we.
them. So you brought me back to nostalgia. Like,
I know that's
oh,
what I said. That's what the song reminded me of. Was like they were coming out, and I was like, "Where they at? Where they at?" And I realized that they're not
no,
coming.
what?
It
No,
was
honey.
people. I
See,
know.
this is what happens when you've been watching wrestling for all your life. You're just like, come back. And you're like 60 and 70. Like, that's crazy. Okay, anyway. Next match is Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
I don't know why we're having this match. I ain't gonna lie.
I
I guess just to give Ray a match. I don't know. I don't
same.
understand.
Same. I'm gonna tell you, I'm so not invested in this. I was like,
And I don't even
are
think Rey
they?
Mysterio is gonna win. I think it's gonna be the other dude.
Especially because El Grande Americano is so very much Chad Gable that I am. He comes the same way. He got the two hands happening every time. He does 955 suplexes. Like, I am so very much like, why? Why are we doing this? I don't get it, but I love
I
any
think it's to
opportunity to
probably
see
get out
Ray.
of it. Yeah, I think it's probably like to more so like I think okay, if I'm thinking about it from a standpoint of me being a luchador and me proud of me being a luchador and me proud of my roots and I'm granted, yes, Rey Mysterio at one point fought without a mask. So,
He did.
but I think to have Chad Gable be this person is like, sir, what are you doing? Why are you pretending to be a luchador?
It's
What are you
funny.
doing? We're not in Mexico.
It's
This is
funny.
not just a fun thing. This is life. So I get it, but I'm not invested. I don't
You
care.
know who I miss? I will say this. We don't see enough of Otis and Maxine and
Maxine had a good match this week too.
she did. We're gonna get into that. Seeing a lot of the women is always great, but SmackDown's gauntlet match was probably my favorite match of this week because seeing all the women out there when I feel like we haven't seen enough development, which takes me to my soapbox moment. Are you ready?
Okay. Okay, here you go. Here's the box. Here's your mic.
Let's talk about the state of the women's tag team division.
Let's talk about it.
It does not exist. That's the problem. They keep putting these people together. We're gone are the days where you have people who are naturally a tag team, like the Iconics, like other
Oh, I couldn't
people.
stand them, but that was a
They were phenomenal athletes, though. Like
they
watching
were.
them was so fun. And now we've gotten to the point where we got to put Bailey with Lyra Valkyria
Uh,
when we just had an intercontinental title match with them. Not to say, I mean, I enjoyed seeing them on my screen twice this week, but
and their women's
intercontinental,
intercontinental
mhm,
championship matches are really
it
good
was great.
match.
But now, what's the point in having that match if you're going to go be tag team at the
I
end of the
guess to
week?
show sport. I guess too to show sportsmanship because
I
just
don't
think
want that.
about it too. Okay,
I didn't ask for
okay,
that. Bailey
okay.
needs
That's
to
what.
go back to
Okay,
being the badass that
that was
she is.
strong. That was a strong.
It is. She needs to go back to being the badass that she is. She is a one, not the two. She should have been beat Lyra for that damn Intercontinental title
Thought
by
she was about
any
to because she definitely
means
pulled her in that middle of the ring,
necessary.
ready for her to tap. I thought that was gonna happen.
Any means necessary. I am over them treating Bailey like a third class citizen. Like they treat Charlotte like most of the second coming. Becky come back, we ain't gonna see nobody else. You know what I'm saying? So give her due. Give Bailey her flowers right the hell now and raise her up to the level she should be at. Stop putting her under other people. Now, this is not to say Lyra is a great athlete. She's lovely, but she is not Bailey. And so I am ready for Bailey to take her rightful place and to be known as the damn superstar that she is. There we go. I'm off my soapbox. Oh, wait, I
You
gotta
know.
get back on
Oh,
for 2 seconds.
okay.
Let's find some tag teams who are supposed to be tag teams. Can
Absolutely.
we just find some? Can we like groom them as tag teams instead of having,
Random people
for
together.
instance, let's
Uh
talk
huh.
a minute about Pure Fusion Collective. What the hell is this? And I want to say this. I like Shayna Baszler. I like Zoe Stark. I don't understand what brings them together. I don't understand why they're a tag team. There was some chatter on the internet because of their sexual choices, maybe. And I was like, even so, this name is something. I like to just call them PFC if I can, because
Oh.
what?
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
understand it. You know what I would like? Someone to
Okay. I'm
explain
listening. What would
to
you
me
like?
what
Uh
the
huh.
hell PFC means and why Zoe and Shayna represent it. Shayna is a killer all by herself. I remember seeing her in NXT. I remember her tearing up that roster. And then she got to the main roster and she was okay for a little while. And now, like, it's
They don't know
almost
what
like
to do with her. They don't want nothing to do with her because at the end of the day, who are they got? Who is she going to fight?
anyone else. You need stories. Where are the stories for the women? Why are they missing from this? Like, there are stories you can tell from these women. Like, somebody doesn't like somebody because somebody's messing with somebody's boyfriend. Like, dig down to NXT and see what's going on there and bring some of those ideas up to the main roster. I am over it. Then I want to talk a little bit about Kate.
Go ahead. I'm letting you on. You got the floor. Go ahead. Let it out.
Okay,
Let our podcast people know what's happening. Let them know what's going
I'm gonna
on.
just be clear. I really do like what's her name? Cadence and Chance. I can't remember their names. And I'm
Okay.
sorry because
Okay.
I'm sorry because I feel like
Catching it
that's
right
one
now.
person's name and not the other person's name. But
Okay. I can't help you because I don't know.
exactly.
They
Exactly.
from oh.
I just know
Oh.
they're a very flippy tag team. The girl used to be on American Ninja Warrior. She is an incredible athlete. She's super cute. She's tagged with the other lady with the dreads. They do a lot of partying when they come out to the ring. Yes,
They were cute. They were cute together. What happened?
they're cute, but they're forgettable. And that's my thing. Like, bring these women up. If you're building tag team divisions for the men, then you need to do the same effort and interest when you're recruiting, when you're building, when you're telling the same stories for the women's division, because I'm over it. Like, why do we even have a tag team championship if we barely see it? We don't know, like, who has it 98% of the time. Like, at least we know it's Liv and Raquel Rodriguez because, we saw them and we know them and they're visible because of the Judgment Day and all the things because Liv was super hot last year and the whole Dom thing was super hot at a time.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Question mark, question mark.
That's also getting old too.
Yes, question mark, question mark. Can we put some real interest and time into the women's division to build up these characters so I care about what happens to them? Every story doesn't have to be about a man. I mean, that's true. You don't. Look at what's happening with Naomi
and Jade.
Look at what's happening.
Fighting for friendship, but not even just fighting for friendship. It's for the fact of like that's a good story.
Right.
They're fighting because
I don't
came
like
in
you.
here.
Right.
You came in here, thought you was the hottest shit ever.
Right.
And you not.
Right.
Get your life together. You was probably hot over there, but you ain't hot over here. Understand?
And Bailey and Lyra should be having a old school, new school feud. Like, hold up, Miss Intercontinental Championship. Do you know who I am? What I bring to the table?
She doesn't do the ding dong. The long she don't do ding dong. That'd be
no ding dong.
That was
no.
That was the most annoying time for Bailey.
It was. It was.
What?
But I will
Girl.
say she held them down through the pandemic era because that's when I came back and who I saw every week, Bailey and Sasha. But we'll get back to that in another time. But Bailey needs to be given her due respect, and the women's division needs some attention, time, care, and energy put into their storylines. If you can write for these dudes, if you got Carmelo Hayes and Miz together as a tag team, Melo don't Miz, then can we do something with the women's division, please? Can we spend some energy and time? Okay, now I am getting off myself.
I totally agree. And this is where I'm gonna throw my pitch in that I think you should go write for them. Anyway, so
thank you.
Yeah,
I am a writer.
You're welcome.
I like to tell stories.
Yes.
So, maybe one day.
If you need something, we are here.
Like, I am happy to come up with some brainstorm, some ideas for the women's division. There's 9 million reasons women don't like each other.
And it's not always a man.
No. At this point, you could tell, like, one of those lesbian stories. They didn't do that. Why not? They started one, remember, back in the day with Mandy Rose?
That was a good one.
But then it died because of the pandemic. And I will say, I was heartbroken that they got rid of Sonya Deville because she was one of my favorites too. And I think she was doing her best to make the PFC situation work. but it didn't make sense. And it still doesn't make sense. So, and I don't think it's the talent's fault, right? I think
No, it's
when
the
you think
people who are
about
creating it.
creative, you got to think about
Mhm.
how these stories work together. You got to look at the bigger narrative. And I am just unhappy with the state of the women's division overall, but especially the tag team division. Why do we have these belts if you're not going to spend any time or energy on?
And you also did them at the wrong time because, like you said, we could have sat here and had it when we actually had a tag team division. So when we had the Funkadelics, nope,
Yes, that's true.
is it Funkadelics? No,
Yeah,
was it?
yeah.
Okay, I felt like it was something else. Uh, and then we had the Bella Twins. Then when we had the Iconics, when we had uh, who else am I missing?
Mm,
Didn't Natalia have a tag team?
yes, didn't she? The Kabuki Warriors, remember they were a tag
Yes.
team.
Huh?
Um, but there were actual like tag teams. Oh, I'm sorry, Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. So I did try to remember their names.
Okay.
And they give you the energy. I agree with that, but they don't pop off the page to me. But even like if you think about like Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell they were
That
a
was a
tag team
good.
back in
Uh huh.
NXT. They got rid of Isla Dawn and they gave Alba Fire to Chelsea Green, which I love Chelsea, so fair. But why we get rid of Isla Dawn? I mean, why did that tag team not work? Why do we have to keep putting together?
I
I
feel like
just
they
don't
just kind of
understand it.
put people together. And then on top of that, too, Naomi and Bianca was actually a good tag team. They were actually better than Bianca and Jade. I ain't gonna lie. Sorry. I
I
just,
kind of agree with you, but I just feel like there just needs to be work.
right. But then when you did put two people together, then what y'all do? Y'all break them up. You don't
Yeah,
let them be however. And that's the crazy part. Just like when Sasha and Bailey, they were great tag teams
they
together.
were really great. Yeah.
They were an amazing
But
tag
they were
team.
also
And they
fantastic single stars. So that
absolutely.
leads to the problem that we keep talking
Mhm.
about. I know not everybody goes into the business to be a tag team, but it don't make sense to be on a women's roster if no one ever sees you.
That's true. That's true.
So it doesn't hurt for you guys to be a tag team, for you to have similar gear, for you to have one united story that brings you two together. Because Zoe and like um Shayna, they're both badasses. Like Zoe, I was such a fan of what she did in NXT, and when they brought her up, I was psyched. And then they had like a quick story with her with
I know who you talk about.
Trish and Becky, maybe
Uh-huh.
was it Trish and
It was
Becky?
yes.
But it was a
Yes,
quick story, and they did no more
because
her since.
she was on Trish's she was Trish's
That's
pretty
right,
much lap dog. I'm gonna put it
right.
that way. She was her lap dog.
But like we don't have and Natalia MVP always coming through in any given time doing the best, but give me some consistency. All right, I'm done. I'm done.
Okay. Okay. It's all
I'm off
right.
my
Listen, we're both
situation. I'm
passionate
sorry.
about this because the reason why we left from watching WWE was because of what they were doing with the women's division.
Or
And
lack
it was
thereof.
becoming or lack thereof, and it was becoming real repetitive. And now you guys create a show to get everybody to pretty much get back into wanting to watch wrestling. And then,
You talking about divas?
yes, total divas, and we seeing all these people now. Granted, some people weren't the best, like Eva wasn't the best, but like JoJo was good. You had people who were good, and now we don't see them.
That's right. We don't see any of these people. Half of them are gone. You let people go. You don't give them ample opportunity. They don't have. It's hard to tell a story. Okay, I'm done. I'm getting off this because we got to
Yes,
talk
we
about.
we,
All
we
right.
gotta
So
talk
did
about the
we
other
pick
things. Let's
who we
go.
wanted to win between Rey Mysterio and El Grande Americano? I'm gonna go with
We
Rey
said we both.
Mysterio.
Oh, I'm just gonna go with El
El
Grande.
Grande Americano. No real reason, just to pick a name.
Yeah, just pick a name. We both discussed that we weren't passionate. That's how we got passionate about the women's
You're right.
division.
I'm sorry. I took you off, Kate. I'll be back. All right. So LA Knight, who is our United States champion, versus Jacob Fatu. Okay, let me start. I love
I'll
me
let you
some
start.
Jacob. Just want to tell you,
His
his
buttons.
dancing, his mannerisms, his promos, like I feel like he is the best thing from this new bloodline situation is Jacob. And I would like LA Knight to lose that title. Just gonna tell you,
Oh.
I would like him to lose that title because I love LA Knight. So I also want to preface it with that because I enjoy him. I enjoy his promos. I know some people say he reminds them a lot of like the nostalgia era between Stone Cold and The Rock, and maybe,
Absolutely, because
and
he has
maybe
his
that's why
little.
we like him. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's something about that repetitive, like thematic way of the way he puts his sentences together, the
Uh-huh.
syllables, the LA Knight, yeah. Which, by the
Uh-huh.
way,
That's what I was
I'm trying
like.
to tell you, I was a fan when he was Max Dupree. Like I was a
I couldn't stand him when he was Max Dupree. So I was like, what are you doing? What? He goes,
fan
these are my.
when he was, as soon as I saw him in NXT, I was a fan because I was like, this dude is a star. His promos don't miss. He's great in the ring. I just think he's great. But I'm ready to see Jacob Fatu as a champion. I just want to know what that looks like. Curiosity, I guess.
Yeah, as you blush. Okay, so
Fatu.
I mean, I like a little buffness. I mean,
Nope.
I do like the fact that he is breaking out on his own. I do like the fact that he has went from I love you solo to back up, go over there. I didn't ask you for no help. Go that way. I didn't ask you to come help me. Just go that way. I got this. Like, so to see him go from there to like, I'm you and this is it, to nah, let me remind you who I am. Back up. Push
Right?
that way. Like, go that way. I feel like if he does win though, he's going to win because Solo
Helped
and
him.
what's his name? Tama?
Tamataga?
Tonka? There we go,
Tama.
Tama.
Oh
I
my
knew it
God,
was
I'm
Tama.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
Tonga?
Anyway,
Tonga?
Tonga,
Is that it?
Tonga. When he goes,
Okay, let's talk a little bit about that sound that he makes that everybody made. Was it last week or this way where everyone kept copying it and all I did was laugh over and over again because what is this sound that everyone's making? It sounds like it belongs in a horror movie. And I don't ever want to hear it in a dark alley. I don't ever want to hear it. You know, sometimes I like to watch wrestling until I go to sleep. I never want to hear that when I close my eyes. So I just do not I do not want to hear that
listen,
sound by itself ever. But
listen.
yes, he's fun to listen. He's fun
I
to watch and to watch other people replicate that sound.
don't think I did the sound. I just did more the face. But what I'm
Yeah, I don't
saying
think you did the
is,
sound either.
I think what I think is that they're going to think he's losing, and they're
Mm.
going to come out, and then he's going to get upset and start fussing and yelling at them, and get his eyes off the prize. And that's why I think LA Light is going to retain the championship, just because that's going to happen. And I feel like that's a feud waiting to happen, and I think it's going to be Solo versus Jacob at some point, because he's going to get fed up with them constantly interfering when he doesn't need them to interfere. Jacob is a whole powerhouse by himself.
Right.
So, and I think Solo is a good wrestler too, but now we're going to see the breakdown of the new bloodline,
I think they need a
because
new
now
gimmick too, because like
they
that
do.
new
Because I
bloodline
mean,
thing doesn't.
at this point, y'all lost, so y'all not really the bloodline no more. We only have one tribal chief,
Our
and
only
he's
tribal chief.
only one.
We get into him shortly though. Get to him shortly.
You know. Anyway, go ahead. So next match on the card is
Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. Now I'm gonna preface this with I know we talked about this last week.
I'm about to say, you already know how I feel.
Did this week's fight random parking lot situation followed by what was going on SmackDown with Charlotte come about the crowd change your opinion on this match any?
No. Charlotte beat the crap out of her. Hell no. No.
She did.
No. It's exactly what I think is gonna happen. And then what all Tiffany did was like more of a fire underneath her by talking about her marriages.
Yeah.
Like,
Who wants to
who
be
are
reminded
you?
of their failures?
Who are you to tell me that my marriage has failed? How dare you? I don't, girl, you're not even married yet. Talk to me when you get married, and then tell me how you feel about that. Because you never know what could actually happen. Because I can tell you, being a divorcee, marriage is not as old what it cracked up to be.
It is hard. It's
Okay.
hard. I tell
Okay.
you, as
And
someone who is currently
sometimes
married, it's
you
hard.
got to leave the person alone because they stupid. Okay, sorry, that felt a little
Cathartic over there?
uh, but I understood. Watching Charlotte come from the thing. So we don't normally see Charlotte in no damn leather and, and a jacket and a t-shirt, and we don't normally see her like that. So to see her come out like that and like I don't care, and then to watch Wade stand up and say, "Stop!"
Yeah,
She's
that
like,
made
"Get
me
out my
mad.
face!"
That made me mad. Wade, know your place. Get out of the mix. Do not be in
Like
the
no
middle
one
of the
asked
action.
you to be worried about my job because that's my job to worry about my job, and right now I don't care about my job because she was talking hella reckless last week.
And then ran out the ring for I could beat her up. That's fair.
And then and ran. And then probably when I went to go find her, she left the building to go to the next place.
So it was definitely on site the next time.
It was on that how she pulled up. That was an on site. You can tell she'd been with Mexican cartel people and knew how to. Let me get you. Smack, smack, smack. You was talking. I don't hear nothing. I don't hear you talking. I don't hear you talking no more. What you got to say? Nothing. Oh, okay. That's what I'm saying. Just saying.
Okay, so didn't change your mind any. So you still
Absolutely
taking
not.
Charlotte in this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because Tiffany is soft. She's soft.
All right, I'm gonna take Charlotte too because we know Charlotte's a safe bet here. But also, I want to say I don't want nobody talking about my queen. Don't talk about her. Stop with all the nonsense on the internet. Stop with the memes. Don't nobody talk about my queen unless you can do what she do and the way that she does it. You can hold all your judgment about what goes on in her life and her patterns.
Some of those memes were good though. I ain't gonna lie.
Mind your business, okay? Leave my queen alone. Good. Okay?
But you need to acknowledge they were good. They were some good
I'm not doing that. Okay. All right, so our next match is the one that we all been waiting on. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. And I want to first start by talking about what happened on Monday. Yeah, I know. On Monday we did see. Yes, I do want to see. I want to talk about what happened on Monday. So on Monday, there was an interaction between Seth and Paul Heyman. Remember, this is not for a title; it's for basically custody of Paul Heyman. And Seth brings Paul Heyman, or joins Paul Heyman rather, in the ring. And then they have an escalated conversation that starts with him trying to help him see who really cares about him. And it starts like with a just little tap, a push, then he kind of hems him up in the corner. And eventually CM Punk comes out. But his point of this is to say, who really loves you anyway, Paul? Like, does Roman care about you?
Because he left you when he
left you. That's right. And see, I'm over here hemming you up. Where's your best friend in the world, CM Punk?
I'm backstage about to come out here and beat your ass.
So essentially, I thought it was like a cool way to continue the story, knowing that Roman doesn't come to everything, but Seth, I mean, y'all know I love me some Seth. And this was equally funny because he always walks the line between like good guy and bad guy a lot. And so you're just kind of like, you don't know where he fits in.
But so I'm just happy he had a normal outfit on today. Okay?
I want it all. Give me all the smoke. Give me all the crazy outfits that just look like the red one that looked like cute. Yes, like the parachute.
Or the sponge one.
Or the sponge one.
Or the quilt.
My favorite when he was wearing that blue lace at Wrestlemania, and I was like, that is hot. That was a great outfit. It was. That's when when Cody first came back. And it was great. I loved it. Anyway, the point is, who you got in this one? And just don't go with your heart. Like let's get a little more analysis going on here.
Well, I have to go with my heart because, it's Roman, of course. I think Roman's going to win.
Of course.
I mean, but I also think that Paul Heyman is going to portray CM Punk.
Really?
I do. And the reason why is because he put him on the spot. Because at the end of the day, he said he didn't know what the favor was. It was a blind favor. And CM Punk did it on purpose.
He did.
And he's making his best friend choose between him and our tribal chief.
Yes, our tribal chief.
You know, I'm just saying. And I feel like he's going to betray him and he's going to make sure that Roman wins.
Okay, so here's where this is tricky for me. Because I
Wait,
think,
wait, wait,
wait,
wait,
okay, what
wait.
happened?
But Seth, I think, is not going to make it easy.
No, he definitely isn't.
He's going to play mind games with both of them
I
because
hope he
he's the
comes out with the
king.
Shield music again.
No.
That was
I mean,
hilarious.
that was good last year. I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh. No, what would real be cool is if we know he's not coming, but
Mox ain't coming back. Hold on.
I know, but that would be cool because then that's really playing with his brain because it's like, well, I got Dean, he's right there, and then here I am.
Please never call him Dean Ambrose again. That was a name that was had.
That was a name, but I just feel like it's going to be Roman, or it could be where I still feel like Paul Heyman is going to betray, and he could probably betray both of them and go with Seth.
So that's where I was going. I think
Okay.
this is a Seth moment, right? Because this is Seth's like make it or break it in a way. Because Seth has kind of been on the fringes of a lot of these things, like his 400 million matches with CM Punk, and he hates him and all of the things, right? And then, but Seth and Roman, I feel like they always have some unfinished business that we never quite get to let them finish. And don't forget, didn't Seth get a victory over Roman not too long ago? So I was like, I feel that this is Seth's moment. I feel like he's going to win. He maybe gets custody of Paul Heyman. I mean, have we seen a Seth with a Paul Heyman? I think that would be a really fun pairing to see how that works. And maybe it's time for Roman to stand on his own for a while. Since he
But
has
he's
this part-time schedule, we don't see him
mm,
that often, which also means we don't get to see Paul Heyman that often. And that's a little sad. I could always go for Paul Heyman anytime. And I'm no huge fan of CM Punk. I don't love or hate him at all. I don't have any real feeling about him other than he's CM Punk. Because I was out of wrestling at that point when he was making his way up.
mhm.
And I did see what he did in AEW, but that's a whole nother conversation for another time. So and again, I don't blame him for that, especially if you saw that video that they allowed to play.
I saw that video and I was like,
it's exactly what that man
"Ooh."
said happened. Thanks for sharing the truth. Appreciate for you. Like you could have kept that in a vault. But I just feel like this is Seth's moment. And I'm ready for Seth to be elevated even more. It's another one of those situations where I feel like it's a Bailey situation where for some reason you're always kind of below the other people. And I don't get why. Seth is a crazy in the ring.
Oh
He
yeah,
doesn't have a
absolutely.
bad match. Like he
Absolutely.
elevates everyone he's in the ring with. And I am so excited to see any of his matches just by his physicality, his dedication. He was a great addition to last year's WrestleMania. He really carried the heart of that story.
Mhm.
So I'd love to see him get his own thing. Like, we haven't seen him be a champion for a while, even though I know this is not for a championship, but perhaps
But
Paul
say
can position him in a way that he
probably.
finally can get his title back because, say Jey Uso walks away with the
He better not go after Jay.
heavyweight
He
championship and
better
he's
not.
currently on Raw, boo.
Well,
So,
I don't know. Seth needs to go to SmackDown.
he needs to go to SmackDown. I don't want to see another Seth and Cody match. But we haven't even talked about that. But I don't want to see another Seth and Cody match. I love these matches. They were great matches. But
He better not take the title from Jay.
okay. Well, anyway, I say it's a Seth moment and you say it's a Roman moment. And we don't have a
I
third
do.
person to clarify or to vouch for CM Punk. So it's just going to be, we are 2/3 potentially correct. We each have 1/3 opportunity of being right on this one. All right, let's go to night 2.
All right, let's
All
do
right,
it.
we're going to
I just
start
have to
with
say, this is going to be the longest 2 nights of my life.
they are. I was like, I get a little sleepy
Because
now.
on card on night 2, I can care. Okay, I can care
Okay,
less.
hold that thought.
Okay,
We're gonna get there.
okay.
All right. So the first match is Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, who are the champions, the women's tag team title. We've already discussed this a bit, versus Bailey and Lyra Valkyrie. or Valkyria, or yeah, one of those. Either way, who you got? We don't need to get into the details all over
I
again.
say Bailey. However, I have a feeling, a strong suspicion that Raquel and Liv are going to retain just because Dominic is going to.
So you gotta pick one.
I mean, I told you who I want to win, but I also know who may win.
Okay, can you pick one and not hedge defense on this one?
I mean, I don't really care about the match.
Okay, fine. All right. So this is again goes back to what we just discussed about the tag team division. Because I don't even
Like,
know
I'm
who
not
the next.
invested because I don't even know what they were like. I don't understand. Like, they don't
I
have
don't
no
know who the
rivalry.
next contenders would be, which is even more confusing, I think. But I think Liv and Raquel walk away with this again because I feel like Bailey needs to take Lyra's Intercontinental title. So I just feel like this is another situation where it becomes the start of another feud, I think, which is
Okay.
like, why do we keep having tag teams to do this? It feels like the same story we always have over and over again. So
You made
there's
me
that.
lose.
Right. You made me lose because you weren't good
Now I'm
enough
mad at you.
and I was
Ooh.
better than you. Right. And all of that.
I'm gonna
So,
fight you now.
but also, I got a slight problem with this too. So the women's tag team match is going to be on WrestleMania, but the Street Profits and their match is going to be on SmackDown next week. Why don't they get a WrestleMania match? They could have like got rid of. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. No, no. There is the War Raiders and the New Day have a tag. If we have two titles,
All titles are
why
supposed
is
to be
it not
fighting.
on WrestleMania? Why are we the Street Profits deserve their moment in the sun? They've been doing the King's work over there at SmackDown, holding it down.
I
And
don't
that
even know.
segment this week with Carmelo and Miz
Mm-hmm.
was very fun.
Well, the Miz is always fun.
He is. He's great anyway. Mr. I'm a 9-time tag team champion with 6 million partners, but that's cool. Doesn't matter.
I ain't gonna lie. I liked him when he was with R-Truth. That was fun.
I
But
have liked The Miz since he was on Real World. So
you know what? I ain't gonna lie. And he predicted that he was gonna be a wrestler star, and he sure did. He's out there, and I am the Miz, and you will know who I am.
right. And we was like,
Absolutely.
okay, we hope that for him. And he made his dream come true. And I just think he's talented. He's a great character. But I don't love that they're not on WrestleMania. I feel like some of these matches, particularly the one with Ray and El Grande Americano, could have gotten replaced by.
Or Damien Priest and Drew McIntyre.
Okay, we're
I don't know
gonna
why
talk
they're
about that in a
fighting.
minute. So I think it'll be a Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. All right, second match of the night, since we just mentioned it, Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre, Sin City street fight. Pause. Did yesterday's antics or the week before's antics impact your interest in this match? Anyway, keep in mind that yesterday, Drew McIntyre and his deliciousness.
Oh,
Yes, he
deliciousness.
is
Oh,
also a very handsome man. I just want to say that. I was like, y'all keep forgetting him. Don't sleep on Drew McIntyre. Anyway, so he came
he's
up from
just
behind
tall.
Damian Priest and proceeded to beat him down so badly that he had to be helped to the back yesterday on SmackDown. So did that at all? And then the previous week, Damian Priest quote unquote messed up Drew's eye, but then Drew took off his
His eye patch,
pirate
and then
eye
nothing was
patch.
wrong.
Nothing was wrong. Also enjoyable to me, but seriously, you're not into this one even a little?
No, I don't think they should have got a match for WrestleMania. They should have been on SmackDown. Like, like some, I feel like they were just trying to, because of the names, they were just trying to put them on there. And it's like, I'm not invested. Like, there's just two tall people fighting each other.
Well, a little bit more than that, but that's fair.
Like, I get it. They needed to get Drew over the whole bloodline thing and have to beat everybody up that was in the bloodline because everybody beat him up.
I mean, that was funny, but he was right. He wasn't
Right.
wrong.
But here you are running up behind somebody, first off, in New York or anywhere. Y'all know what that's called. If you come hit me from behind, you a punk. You couldn't hit me in the face. Let me see you coming. I gotta get hit from behind. That's wrong.
Okay.
But no, I'm not invested at all. I care less about that match.
I mean, I felt like the fights helped a little. I think this, you know what I think the problem
Like,
is
what
with the
are they really fighting
WrestleMania?
for?
I
What are
don't
they
know.
fighting for?
Exactly.
Exactly.
And that I think
Exactly.
is
You
that's
don't
what we've
even
been
know what they're
talking
fighting
about.
for.
I think our biggest problem this year is that these stories feel like not all of them have had the same level of like planning and execution. And
Especially like
so
back in the day when we used to watch WrestleMania, like we understood,
you
oh,
knew
okay, you coming, oh yeah, we're gonna, and the lead up to it, like even when they had like even like Survivor Series, some of those Survivor Series matches was still like the
they
reason
were
why they still have
connected.
beef, it was still
Hmm.
connected to WrestleMania. It was great, and none of them feel like they are connected.
Yeah, I think, well, I wouldn't say none of them. I definitely think
I
Jade
mean,
and
most of them.
Naomi
Yes, there's
is
a connection there.
connected. Gunther
Hmm.
and Jay, they've built it the best they can in the last, what, 10 weeks or so. Tiffany and I think that's my problem is that there isn't enough time. They should have built these up a little bit. They should have taken 12 weeks or so. But I know that there was another like pay-per-view and maybe that was that threw us off from the build because it was like a side deal, if you will. And then they had the Saturday night main event. Like there's just things that kind of I think got in the way a little bit of this build. So yeah, I think that's the thing that feels disjointed for us is that when you
Hmm.
tell a story, I'm gonna want to see these notes throughout the entire year, if you will. And I will say what you want about Vince McMahon, but sometimes his stories were he knew going into this WrestleMania what he wanted for next WrestleMania. So you kind of had a sense. Now he didn't do everything right, and he's problematic as it is. So that is what it is. I don't want to get into that
We ain't getting into
because
that yet.
that could take us on a whole nother couple hours of discussion. But
Hmm.
I do feel that extra planning went a little bit of a longer way for you to feel invested and say, like, I get it. Because, yeah, truly, what are Damien and Drew fighting about? I don't know. Just because they're two big dudes fighting or meaty men slapping meat, as Biggie
Yeah,
likes to say.
or he just like he was on the rampage about the bloodline. He can be like, well, Judgment Day, and now since you ain't a part of Judgment Day, and I ain't got to worry about getting beat up by three other people, I'm coming after you. Then that would make sense because all right, you're on you're on your revenge tour. So you hit the bloodline up, and
Right.
now you come into the Judgment Day. All right, cool.
But
But
you
you
don't
don't.
see the connective tissue. You don't see the
No,
correlation. Okay,
no.
that's fair. Funny that you mentioned the Judgment Day. Anyway, I will say my prediction for this match, it could go either way for me. I think either way is fine because there's no real
Because
stakes on this one.
yeah, there's no stakes, and what are you really fighting for to be the biggest
There's no
man on the
stakes on this
roster?
one. So,
Exactly.
I mean, either one's fine, but I'm gonna pick Drew because I like Drew, but
I'll pick Damien because he's from New York.
okay. All right. So funny that you mentioned Judgment Day. Our next match is the Braun Breaker Fatal Four-Way match for the IC title versus Dominic versus Penta versus Finn Balor. I love, 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 love Penta. Um, I watched his work in AEW. I was such a huge fan. I think I probably said this at some point previously, but seeing what WWE has done with him has been
Hmm.
fun to watch because I
Okay.
always kind of thought AEW he didn't get to show some of the things that we see, like his
Okay.
swag when he comes up the ramp and like that Cero Miedo stuff. And like it's just so much to him that I feel like having him WWE has been great. And I'm excited to see what they do with him. His brother, Ray Phoenix, has just premiered on
Yeah, I
SmackDown.
saw that.
He was killing the game yesterday.
He had a good match yesterday
He had a
for sure.
really good match with Berto yesterday because Berto, also underrated, fantastic wrestler. Don't know why he gets lost in the mix too. I think they're a great tag team too. That's what I mean. Him and Angel Carrillo. And I don't understand again how that gets lost. But again, we'll have that conversation.
Right.
Maybe there's just too many people on SmackDown
Maybe.
and they need to move some of them over to Raw in the future. That being said, for this fatal four-way match, I don't think any of them are going to make a difference against Braun Breaker.
Absolutely not.
I
Have
don't.
you seen that man? Absolutely not.
Did you see what he did to Penna when he what was it? He gave him a spear in the middle of the air last week. I was like out of breath when I saw it. I'm like, no, this was a moment in time, and I don't think any of them stand a chance against
No.
Braun Breaker. I'm sorry.
Mm-mm.
Braun Breaker slash Steiner is crazy good in the ring. I wish Carmelo got that same heat because he's also really good and they came up around the same time, but I don't see anybody taking that title away from him anytime
Absolutely
soon.
not. But then I also see the breakdown Judgment Day. It's
Yes, that
building.
too. I
It's
mean,
building. It's been building because now
yes,
Finn thinks because Damien's not there, I am the leader. And it's like, first off, when y'all first started, nobody was the leader.
right.
Remember,
Nobody
that's the
was a
whole
leader.
point. Nobody
But
was the
then
leader. That's why.
Rhea became
That's
the
why.
de
Yeah,
facto leader.
she did. But this is why y'all also got rid of Edge because y'all was like,
That's
"There's no
true.
leader," and then y'all all beat up Edge, and then now we're doing this, and then of course Rhea became the well, I'm the mommy, so I'm gonna be, I'm gonna tell y'all what y'all doing and get y'all lives together. And everybody didn't like that. And then it was like, oh, now Finn is jealous of Damien because Damien's getting all these things and he wants to actually try to fight on his own and not have y'all interfere in every match. And y'all couldn't handle that. And
Right.
then now look what's happening. Finn, Liv, Dominic's just like, I don't know what's going on. I can't. I don't know. Why?
Dominic's
What are you
just
doing?
he's
Wait,
like just
I don't
happy to
know.
be here. Here I am.
I'm like, I'm just here. I am. I don't got mommy. I got you. And I just, I felt like at least when Rhea was there, he had some. It wasn't like I don't know what to do. Like he knew what to do. Now he's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Shout
And
out
I
to
think,
those stuffed chicken nuggies that were there on Monday. That was cool. And I think that'd be a fun gift. So somebody link it to me where I can find those stuffed chicken nugget pillow
what
type
was in the,
things.
what was in it?
I'm guessing cotton or something, whatever you use to stuff us. They wasn't eating it, honey. It was a pillow.
Oh, I must have
Okay.
missed that
I'm
segment.
gonna need you to fully watch the episode next time.
My bad. I missed that segment. Listen, I've been working this week. Okay,
That's
it's
true.
very tiring.
Welcome to my world. I find time. I find time somewhere in here. Anyway, so
Okay.
let's think. Who do you? I think we said Braun Breaker is
Hi,
it, right?
Apollo.
I know. You see Apollo in the background.
No, I heard his feet. He's like, "What y'all doing in here? Y'all
He's
having
our
too much
special.
fun."
Apollo is our special guest.
He's our special
He doesn't
guest.
like to be on camera, so you won't be seeing him. But he went to go lay in his little area of my office. All right,
All
so
right, AJ Styles and Logan Paul.
yeah, I don't care about
It's
this
stupid.
I'm a, this is the first one I really, really don't care about either, except to say I am a huge AJ Styles fan.
Oh, I'm about to
I've
say
been
you're
in
a huge Logan
Georgia.
Paul
You
fan.
know I
I'm
wasn't
like,
going to say
ma'am.
that.
Oh, okay.
I
I'm about
lived
to
in
say.
Georgia for like almost 20 years. I am a huge fan of his work and his ethic and his talent and the whole package. I'm glad they went back to his previous music. Nobody asked for the change. That thing is, in fact, on my workout playlist because
They don't want none.
that's right. I love it. But I would never pick Logan Paul because I could give two. You know what?
We can just skip. I don't care. Anyway.
Okay. Okay. I don't
Only
care.
reason why I know I care, I guess, kind of care. My kids be like, "Oh, that's Logan Paul. He's on YouTube," and I'm like, "Okay."
Right.
I mean, granted, I will give him props. He has gotten better with
He
his
is
wrestling.
great.
He has gotten better with that. But you're just there just to pop your head in. Like I don't think. Yeah, whatever.
It's one of those things like there's always a celebrity special guest, and I'm like, I guess if we have to, and as long as he doesn't win no titles,
Well, he did. That's the whole point. And then he held it for like forever, and it was like,
I
dude, you
just
don't
don't want
even
him to
fight.
win no titles.
Anyway, all right. Well, let's move on. Let's move
Don't
on
win
to
no titles.
the other match that we
AJ
actually
doesn't
care
have a
about.
title, right? Not at all.
No,
No, I
mm-mm.
didn't think so. So I'm like, it's just a non-title. It'll be fun to watch AJ Styles. He better beat him. That's all. That is all.
That's the other thing. Logan always cheats, and it's like, yo, your gimmick is old. Like you can't
He better
beat
beat him.
nobody by yourself. You always got to have one of your people up in the
Right?
thing, or they sit here dressed up as a mascot. Why they a mascot?
I don't
What are
know.
we? Are we playing football? Or what is happening?
I don't know. I don't know. But I'm over it. I just want to tell you, I like Prime. It's a great, thing to drink with the workout. But I am no fan of. I just feel like, again, either we could have given AJ Styles another opponent. I know that it would have been too soon to think about because of what happened with Kevin Owens for like Randy
Right.
Orton, but
Mm-mm.
I
But like
understand
we were
their
saying, they was trying to
desire.
fill the card up, and what they should have did was have what WrestleMania used to be. We used to have all the titles. Every title that we had was being fought for.
That's
It
right.
was not where and then either they exchange hands, or they didn't exchange hands. Like every WrestleMania that I have watched always had all the titles
Yes.
on the line.
Yes.
So for the fact that not all the titles are not on the line
It's a
this year,
problem.
is a problem. And you are filling it with fluff up matches that no one cares about just to fill a card. Like when I look at day 2, it's like no one cares about these matches that you have on this card.
Listen,
And you left the two people that, and then on top of that, the two matches that you know that we do care about are at the bottom to make us watch it.
okay. No,
Yes. Yes.
okay, let me think.
Yes.
I care about that third match with Braun Breaker and the Fatal 4-Way match. I definitely care about Damian and Drew in a sense of like it'll be fun to watch, but that's fun. I do give some thought to Bailey and Lyra because we've seen them work together as a tag team and they did a
Right.
great job in that
Right.
gauntlet match, right? So
Right.
I think that they've done a decent job of sometimes giving us a peek at what might be interesting. So if you watched the gauntlet yesterday, you might be a little interested in seeing how Bailey and Lyra continue to work together.
I'm not saying I'm not, but what I'm saying is if we're comparing day 1 to day 2,
It's rough. Yeah.
and I get it, the reason why we went from day 1 to day 2, I think it was during the pandemic and it was
Yes.
just trying to separate everything. But you want to know something? We don't need 2 days of WrestleMania.
I disagree. I just think you need to. We have so many titles that I would like to see them on the card. I would
That's true.
like you to tell the stories for all the titles. Some of these fluff matches could have been great on SmackDown
Or Raw.
or Raw, but
But definitely like all the titles, especially you have all these titles. Now we have the women's division. We got the women's US
title,
that's what it's called, right?
yes.
I feel like I'm wanting to say US American anyway.
They have a U.S. title and they have an Intercontinental title, and Lyra
Right.
has an
Now we
Intercontinental title.
right.
So why we
We
got
have those
Lyra on here in a tag team match? Do you see what I'm saying? Like we could have easily, love Bailey and Lyra, pop them on out there, put another tag team there, and made Bailey and Lyra a match on this card. That would have been worth it. I'm happy to see Bailey at WrestleMania, but I'm not pleased to see all of the things this way. So I would like to see all the titles be defended on WrestleMania. I like having 2 nights because I remember going to WrestleMania and being there for 900 hours. And by the time I finished, I think the last one I went to was the one where Triple H and Undertaker headlined that WrestleMania. Don't remember which one
Oh,
it was.
you went there?
Yep. I went there maybe 2011, maybe. Anyway, I don't know. I don't remember what number it was. But I do know it was in Atlanta because that's where I lived. So that's how I know that. And my brother, shout out to him, Kamal, we love you. Is that he
We
bought me
do.
a ticket. He bought me a ticket. So I was excited to go. And my favorite part is that we got to hang, like we didn't really always get tickets that were close. I like to hang out with the other fans because they were drinking beer, I was drinking soda. We saw people with Ric Flair robes. We were like having the biggest time of everyone loving the same thing. But let me be clear that by the time that I got to Undertaker versus Triple H, I was so tired because it was all day, it felt like. And that match was a little underwhelming. I'm just going to be honest. They looked a little tired a quarter way through. About as
You know
tired as
what?
I felt. About as tired as I felt when I realized I was going to have to get on that train to go back to our cars, right? So I appreciate them having 2 nights because I feel like it gives you enough energy to get through. But I would like to see the storytelling match the level of excitement of a WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
That being said, you ready for this triple threat match for the WWE Women's World Title? Io Sky, who is our current champ, versus Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. And yes, we all knew this was going to be a triple threat because God help us, this is what we've talked about. Like, there's no way this wasn't going to be it. But who you got in this one?
Bianca.
Yes. Yes. This is going to be tough for her, though.
It's gonna be tough, but you know, she's not the EST for no reason.
She's not.
She likes a challenge. Uh we are going to still get the Rhea and the Bianca match that you talked about last week. Now, are they going to be fair towards EO? I don't know.
Giving a little sister again.
I think they're probably definitely in the beginning or at some point in the middle, and she gonna and then it's gonna make her angry, and then you know she's gonna be the little sister like rah rah rah, like our sister. Anyway, so
Yes. That
love
woman
you,
is
Kevin.
fierce. I don't want to be in the alley with her. No hair. Okay. Shout out to you, Kevin.
um,
We love you too.
yes, we love you too. But I mean, essence, that's what it's like. It's like, you know, watching your two big sisters try to take what's yours, and you're like, but wait, it's mine. And you're like, no, go over there.
My shirt to the
So
corner.
yeah,
Yeah. I
so
think it's
you
gonna be
know,
a
I
tough one
think
though for Rhea. I think Rhea's gonna give a lot of
oh
fight to
yeah.
Bianca. And
Oh,
I don't think you
absolutely.
can like discount Io because she wanted to remind you multiple times that she is no one to
I'm,
F with, you know? So
and you know what? I'm happy. I do hope, this is what I do hope, that any remaining members of Damage Control don't come out.
oh yeah, okay, that's fair.
Because I remember the
That's fair.
last time at her last match that was major, and I think it was last year at WrestleMania, they came out and she was upset. Why are you out here? I didn't ask y'all to come out here. I want to do this on my own. So hopefully they respect that, but I wouldn't be surprised if they show up.
I mean, yeah, I
And you
think
want to
this
know something?
one.
I mean, I'm going to be honest too. I just thought about this.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if Naomi or Jade come out either.
That is where I was going to go. I was like, do we think that Bianca is done with that situation? Because
Absolutely not.
Naomi's, her promo this week was very much like, I loved you and you betrayed me. So a part of me wonders if Bianca wins, her next competitor could be Naomi
I think it's going to be Jade.
or Jade or Jade.
I think it's going to be Jade. The reason why is because, like I said, Bianca still was saying, like, these are my best friends. And, you know, I'm still upset. Are you?
I
Once
mean,
again,
she's
like I said
busy.
last week, listen. When they supposed to be your people, it don't matter how busy you are. They are in turmoil, and they're in
Fair.
turmoil over you, not over.
I mean, the turmoil isn't just over her. It's about injuring Jade by pushing her off that ledge onto the car. Like that is the beef. But also taking her place. Also taking her place, but pushing her off.
But taking her place, and also, like I said, I think Bianca knew something of the sort happened and still chose to be
her partner.
Tag team partners with Naomi.
I knew she did. Well, there is a little bit backstory. If you remember, she really did not want to give up those tag team titles.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so there is some there's some susness happening here. So
we didn't want to give it up like a normal person. Like, I'm gonna give this up because she's injured. Okay, can you help me, Naomi? Okay, sure. Come on, here we go. Thank you for coming in and helping me so I can keep these titles.
Team, though.
They were an amazing tag team. They was amazing.
Now, that is what I mean. They did. I mean, I know they were individuals, but I could have saw them go the distance together longer. So, all right, that leads us to our, because we both agree on Bianca. So that leads us to our last match of the night and the last match of WrestleMania. The undisputed WWE title match with Cody Rhodes versus Evil John Cena.
Not you say evil. Not you say evil. I mean, you want me to go first?
Yes, please.
I think The Rock is going to show up.
Okay.
And either help John Cena or betray John Cena.
Interesting.
The reason why I say that is The Rock's supposed to be the boss, right? He's the final boss.
Yes.
Which means he gets the final say. So he may have made you turn evil just because Cody didn't want to and promised you that you're going to be getting your championship and then decide at the last minute, haha, I'm joking. because I'm the final boss and I get to say what ends up happening. Um, I do feel also too, because I think on night one with Jay, uh, so who's coming out with Jay? I think I want to say it's going to be
With Jay?
Travis Scott. Yeah, no, I saw it somewhere that someone's coming out with Jay. They're going
I
to do
missed it.
the
Really? Him
oh
again? Is he gonna be
oh
smoking out
I
again?
think it's Sexy Red. Never mind.
Oh,
Never mind.
really? Sexy Red is coming out with Jay?
Yeah.
That's an interesting. She did a lot of work in NXT. That
I
was
think so.
that
But then
was
don't quote me. Don't quote me because I kind of saw it quick, so I don't really know. I know somebody's coming out with him.
okay.
But
Okay.
I was saying if it was Travis Scott, then I could see Travis Scott coming in and playing another part. Or maybe not because he actually did hurt Cody, so maybe
If
not.
he do come out,
Uh
I hope Cody busts him in the face because what he
you know what?
did
That is true.
was
Because
not
what he
cool.
did, it wasn't cool. And I'm not gonna say I don't think he did it intentionally. I
No.
think that was the hood part of him, like, I'm gonna beat you up today.
It might have
Blah.
been. It might have been
And then
hood.
it was like, oh, I messed up for real, like I wasn't supposed to do that.
It might have been. I'm not disagreeing that that was probably the hood, coming out from where he's
Oh
been.
no, that was definitely the hood coming out, okay?
I
I
don't
would know.
disagree with that.
Yeah,
All
anyway.
right. So my
Um,
take on this.
yep, let's hear it.
All right. So I want to preface this by saying I love Cody too. I really appreciate Cody as a champion. He's like one of my favorite wrestlers, but I'm not sure how effective he has been as a champion. Um, I just like I think it works for the little kids and stuff. But when you
Okay.
think of the impact of like a champion, like especially following Roman, it's tough to like
His star definitely has dwindled
it
down.
hasn't
It
it
wasn't
doesn't feel as
as
bright as it
effective.
was previously. Like he sometimes there's those champions who do really well fighting up towards the championship
Uh-huh.
and then they get there and they kind of like stuck. Like I think of Gunther as one of these people. Like once you get up there and once you're there and it's like okay, you're there. And it's tough to see and that's like their pinnacle is when they get to that
Uh-huh.
top. And for
Uh-huh.
Cody, I want to say that I just don't know that his challengers have all been. He did a great job with Kevin Owens. I think all those matches there were really good. But
Uh-huh.
before that and kind of after, I was like, yeah, I really haven't been super into any of his feuds. Which is why I
So at
thought
the
they
end
were
of the day,
going
he
to
wasn't supposed to
revisit
go
him and
against
Seth
John
for a minute,
Cena.
huh?
Mm-hmm. And so at the end of the day, he really was supposed to go against John Cena.
Probably. I don't know. My thing is
Like
John Cena's on his tour.
their feud don't make no sense.
That I don't. I thought I will say
That was the point. That was the point. That was the bullet.
the last promo on Monday when they were facing
But
off
it
against each
sucked.
other, I was like, okay. I think he did a better job than he has done in other ones. The promo from last night when he was surrounded by all the championships, that
Uh-huh.
was pretty cool to see. It was okay.
But I felt like it went flat, especially when you went to the spinning, and it was just like that. I said, first off, that belt was actually cool.
It
That was
was.
a
I like
cool
the
belt to
spinning belt.
have.
That was one of my
Like
favorites.
that was
But
a.
I was like,
But
it
he definitely fell flat. It wasn't. It didn't give the value that it needed to give for
exactly, which is
sure.
what I was thinking. It didn't make me feel like Cody. Like it just was like so in a way, I kind of like to see John Cena win
Mm.
because I would like to see him beat Ric Flair's record. Um
Okay.
and also because I think there's more story for John Cena going into the rest of his tour if he wins than if he loses.
Okay.
And for Cody, I'd like to see him have a bit of an identity crisis. I'm gonna just be honest.
Okay.
I'd like to see him take a turn here
Oh.
because I think
Okay.
Cody is a natural heel. Like he has that swagger, that kind of intellect that I don't know, he comes off as better than you in a lot of ways. And
Mm.
maybe it's his big words and the way he dresses, but he doesn't
Mhm.
seem like his father was very blue collar. And Cody is
Mm.
like the creme de la
He's not
creme.
that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I'm like, I'd like to see him take a turn here. I've always wanted to see Cody as a heel. I know he's making money for the company as a babyface. I think he's crazy media talented, but I would like to see Cody have a bit of an identity crisis and be like, how the hell this man come back and beat me for this title?
And then you want to know something? Then that probably will build him back to take the title back from
Right.
John.
I think it'll make his star rise even more, but not,
Mhm.
but again, more of an identity crisis. I'm not talking star dust or nothing.
Please do not bring Stardust back.
I'm ready
That
for
is
that to be
going
buried and
to.
never discussed again. But I'm talking about like a serious identity crisis psychologically. Like, this is who I thought I was,
Mhm.
but it turns out I'm not that guy. And we all know that
Mhm.
wrestling is predetermined. So there's a bit of like, you know, that maybe the company might not be behind you. So it's a little time you can play with to see.
Mhm.
And I really think I'd love to see what that looks like for him. Like, what happens if he's not who he thinks he is anymore? Like, you can you can start to like slowly see that descent into madness a little bit.
Mhm.
I know Karrion Cross has been playing that sidebar role of like that bad voice tending you
Mhm.
into like darkness and stuff, but I'd like to see
Mhm.
what a slow descent into madness looks like for Cody and who he looks like on the other side. Well,
Okay.
well,
Uh, well,
it looks like
clearly my
we've
kids are
gone through the entire card, right? Like, this was
clearly
a
mom.
long one.
This was a long
This was
one.
a long one.
Woo.
And I think we made some of these picks and they were I think overall we have some thoughts. This card and what they could do better for sure. But I think it's time to wrap us up now, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It's time to wrap us up. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in. We want to remind you to like, subscribe, hit that bell on your YouTube, follow us on Spotify and all your favorite platforms. We are on Instagram, we are on TikTok, we are on
TikTok.
Facebook as well for us old heads who you still use that.
Okay, first off, stop saying old heads, okay? Because they're not old. Thank you.
It's one of my favorite platforms for family. I like to follow stuff on there too, so no judgment there. But want to encourage you guys to just keep up to see our day-to-day antics. We try to check in. We like to have stories. We like to hear your input. Don't hesitate to shoot us an email at maineventmamas@gmail.com if you have any feedback, thoughts, or questions. We want to reach out to you and hear about it.
Absolutely. And don't forget to comment. That is very important. When you watch a video, please like it and comment and just let us know how you feel and what you're thinking about while you're watching it. And hopefully, you know, you continue wanting to be a part of our tribe.
Right. And don't forget to share that too. Didn't want to forget that.
Absolutely. That one too.
So we want to say we are not new to this.
We are true to this.
And this is Main Event Mamas.
Woo!